Ed Rosenberg, head of ETFs for American Century. So, rumor has it you may have some interesting news at this conference. Let's talk about non-transparent ETFs.
Sure. What would you like to know?
So, are you going to be the first to market?
So I would say most likely we will be. Probably closely followed by Presidian's partnership with Legg Mason. But we will probably be first. The question is when, right? And that's the question I keep getting. And the answer is, I don't know. My best guess would be sometime this quarter. But realistically where we are is we're tied up with, we've got legal filings in. And if you look at legal filings for an ETF, there's generally 3 you have to do. There is an exemptive relief, which you have to do because this is a new structure. And so we've gotten approval for that. You do a registration, so you do an A and a B filing. We've done the A, but the B is for when you're ready to go live. And then the exchange on your behalf does something really technical called a 19B4, which is just simply, can you trade? Now for most ETFs, you don't have to do this because for index and transparent active, they have generic listing requirements that they've gotten approved to eliminate this process, but we still have to. And that actually can be a 240-day process. And our 240 days is up, call it February 20th. Okay. And so theoretically, we could go anywhere between now and then, but even if they give us the approval, we have to get other parts of the industry set up, which we're in the process of doing now while we're waiting for the approval, which is get an APR, right? Get a lead market maker, get an AP who can handle this structure. And once we do all that, which we're fairly close on, then we can actually launch.
Okay, and what do you think the appetite is from investors for non-transparent ETFs? And then what are some of the challenges you face with advisors around educating them on the benefits of a non-transparent ETF?
So let's go to the first one. What's the demand? I think you're going to have advisors who are going to fall into one of 3 pools, right? Advisors who use ETFs who have been dying for this active structure, because if you think about what it brings to market, it brings ETFs that have never been seen before in the ETF universe, right? Concentrated ETFs, potentially, right? Somebody's best IP or the portfolio manager's best ideas into an ETF that they've always been afraid of front running or free riding, and you can take those fears away. So there's going to be advisors who have told us, when you go out, we're going to invest. There's also advisors who follow any rule. I'm not going to invest until it's got a year track record or a 3-year track record or 300 years, I don't know. But they're going to have a rule. And what's going to make them break the rule is either their client demand or the performance is so unique for what they're normally investing in that they need to go. And then quite frankly, you're going to have a small set that's just never going to do it, right? They're either going to stick to whatever's cheapest or what they've been using for years and never change, it doesn't matter. The challenges around educating advisors, the first thing is you have to think about this. This is an ETF, right? So the benefits of an ETF become forward. So for any advisor who's trading this, let's be realistic. How they trade it, how they look at it, what it looks like to them in the market is identical. And what's better about it is if I have a mutual fund and an ETF that are exactly the same, ETF's going to be more tax efficient because with this structure, the in-kind process is preserved. And so because of that, I get to take advantage of that as a portfolio manager and potentially eliminate capital gains. Now the educational piece is how it works. And the real question is they can't see holdings, so what can they see? If they want to look at the, what am I holding today, what's the basket, you can't see it. So you have to look at other sources. So the first thing is there's something called a verified intraday indicative value. It's basically an INAV. But today with the INAV, it's published every 15 seconds. This is now every second. And the way it works behind the scenes is the firm actually calculates it twice on 2 different machines, and they must be within 25 basis points of each other, or they have to halt. And so it's US equity, so that's probably not going to happen, but it's a verification system. And then it's put out there, so the investor has an idea of what price around they should pay for it. So that's a new piece to it, right? Because if you look at it today, every 15 seconds with an INAV, maybe the market's moved really quick, and in that window they've missed something. Right? Or quite frankly, if it's international or fixed income, the INAV today is so far away from where it should be because it's not fair valued, it's not a useful tool. This VIIV will actually be a useful tool for them. And then for them, it's sort of how they evaluate a mutual fund, right? That doesn't show its holdings. What do they need to see? You can look at top 10 holdings monthly, like on our website, for example. Instead of seeing it every day, you can see what the month was. You can get statistics, maybe what the median market cap is or what the dividend yield is. And those types of statistics tell you the information. You may look at those with the products today, but quite frankly, that may not be your first look. For these, it could be more of that look. And it's just a different approach to how you evaluate an ETF.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.